Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today's video is about the Canadian band, the Tragically Hip. These guys are national heroes, the pride and joy of Canada. Active from 1984 to 2017, they released 13 studio albums between 1989 and 2016. Their lead singer, Gord Downie, was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2015 and he passed away on October 17th, 2017. The remaining band members would go on to announce that they would no longer perform under the name The Tragically Hip. This video is not intended to be a biography, however, I will quickly go through their 13 studio albums in chronological order. I will then go through the set list of their final Chicago show, the second of two back-to-back shows at Chicago's House of Blues in January 2015. Setlist.fm shows their first Chicago concert was at the Metro Theater in February 1990. The band would come back to Chicago quite frequently with approximately 36 concerts in the Windy City over the duration of their career. One of my biggest musical regrets is not being able to see them perform live, obviously having multiple opportunities to do so over the span of 25 years. So, over the course of their career, 13 studio albums, and I'm going to divide this into two sections, 1989 to 1999, and then 2000 to 2016. The group released their first 6 albums prior to the year 2000, starting off with their debut album, Up to Here, in 1989, followed by Road Apples in 1991, then by Fully Completely in 1992, Day for Night in 1994, Trouble at the Hen House in 1996, and Phantom Power in 1998. Their next 7 albums came after the year 2000, starting with Music at Work in 2000, In Violet Light, 2002, In Between Evolution, 2004, World Container in 2006, We Are the Same in 2009, Now for Plan A in 2012, and their final album, Man Machine Poem, in 2016. The tour was named the Fully Completely 2015 North American Tour and saw the band perform 50 shows in the US and Canada, including 10 US states, Washington, D.C., and 9 out of the 10 Canadian provinces. The setlist blueprint for the shows is divided in 3 parts. Part 1 is a selection of 5 songs from their discography. Part 2 is their third studio album, Fully Completely, played in its entirety. All 12 songs performed in the order in which they appear on the said third album. Part 3 is another selection of 5 songs from their discography. So we have 5 plus 12 plus 5 equals a 22-song set list. The 2 shows in Chicago did not have identical set lists, and I will go over the similarities and differences at the end of the video. If I could go back in time with the choice of only going to one of the 2 Chicago shows, I would choose to go to night number 2, and I will explain that later in the video also. So here are the first 5 songs from part 1 of the set list. Starting off with Grace 2 from the Day for Night album. Fireworks, from the Phantom Power album. And the next two songs are from their penultimate studio album, Now for Plan A, and those are At Transformation and Man Machine Poem, before concluding with Ahead by a Century. So now we are on to part 2, the entire Fully Completely album, their third studio album released in 1992. The album consists of 12 tracks, and if you had/have the vinyl or cassette, there were 6 songs on side 1 and 6 songs on side 2. The songs on side 1 are as follows: Courage for Hugh McLennan, Looking for a Place to Happen, At the 100th Meridian, Pigeon Camera, Lionized, and Locked in the Trunk of a Car. And now the songs from side 2: Will Go To, Fully Completely, 50 Mission Cap, Wheat Kings, The Wherewithal, and finishing off with El Dorado. So here we are at part 3, the final 5 songs. We have 5 songs from 3 albums as follows: My Music at Work, Something On from Phantom Power, Scared from Day for Night, Bob Kagian, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, also from Phantom Power. And the show concludes with Nautical Disaster, my absolute favorite Tragically Hip song, which is why I would have preferred Night 2 over Night 1. So here is a recap. The 13 album discography from 1989 to 2016. Here is a list of the albums that were utilized for Chicago Night 2. The number in parentheses refers to the number of songs that were played from that album. And here are parts 1, 2A, 2B, and part 3. The number in brackets refers to the album number in regards to chronological order from studio albums 1 through 12. So quickly, I'll go over some differences between Night 1 and Night 2. Since Part 2 is identical for both shows, there are only 10 songs from Part 1 and Part 3 to discuss. Here is Part 1 with the songs from Night 1 on top and Night 2 on the bottom. And here is Part 3, again with the songs from Night 1 on top and Night 2 on the bottom. Of these 10 songs, there are 3 songs that are the same between Nights 1 and 2, and they are Grace 2, At Transformation, and My Music at Work. Which means that Night 1 has 7 unique songs as follows, and Night 2 has 7 unique songs as follows. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. I believe there are more Tragically Hip videos in the pipeline, so please like and subscribe. Thanks again.